Can he handle it? We just don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
He is averaging 26, 8, and 9.
How old is he? 12?
Already this year's team owns the franchise record for wins, and they've clinched the best record in the East.
He's still only 18 years and 8 months old. Can he live up to all the hype?
No one can live up to this type of hype.
Now, it's got to be difficult to focus on this fight in the same manner in which you focused on James Toney and made Toney look absolutely pathetic in winning by decision.
Big right hand by Roy Jones. Another right hand by Roy Jones. And down goes Bird. Down goes Bird. Knocked him out in 1 round.
The fight against Vinny Pazienza.
You all right?
He threw a lot of punches at him. I think like over 60 punches. And for the first time in boxing history, didn't land a punch.
That's an astonishing statistic, Dave.
It's really something that has become much more than a hockey game, and it became a political and social and economic statement.
And so you have all of this confluence of events taking place.
And it puts in perspective what it meant for the country, what the country was going through at the time, the Cold War and the height of it.
Somebody wrote that the ice will melt and turn to gold before the U.S. wins a game like this.
And a bunch of college kids, basically, in effect, meeting an amateur team, but we all knew what they were. They were all listed as soldiers in the Soviet team, but they were hockey players. They were the best hockey players in the world.
The Soviets, looming in the middle round, with an undefeated record and overflowing confidence.
It was like thunder. The energy, I think, could have sustained for 9 periods of hockey.
Soviets take the lead in the second period, and they outshoot the U.S. in the second period, something like 15-3.
The Mush contested only once thus far. The Americans with perhaps their final rush on this power play opportunity. 13 seconds left in the penalty. They chopped it in by Johnson. They score!
You know, country was looking for something to rally against.
I've been on the air for earthquakes. That may have been rockier than San Francisco.
Tonight, we skate with them.
4:55 remaining in the third period.
Tonight, we stay with them.
2:25, 2:24.
And we shut them down because we can.
That final, I want to say 30 seconds, just, it was this kind of sporting event.
Johnson over to Ramsey. The Lebanon gets set by Ramsey. McClanahan is there. The puck is still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Silk. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
And the United States have beaten the Soviet Union. I have never seen such scenes in all my life.
Listen to this crowd. This capacity crowd has seen the most exciting event here at the 13th Winter Olympics. They're going crazy out there. They're jumping up and down, while the Russians, on the other hand, are just standing quietly at their own blue line.
On first down, Brady slides through. Camara makes a man miss. Toss to Camara on the edge, gets a block. Gets in.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. Takes the handoff, sweeps to his right, gets to the 20. throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon. Breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30, he's down to the 20, he's down to the 10, he's down to the 5, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, touchdown 49ers. 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle.
Elo looks. Elo into Nance. Back to Elo. He drives. He scores! Elo drove it right down the wing and scores! 199 with 3 seconds to play.
Now Chicago has 3 seconds to try to win it.
The Cavs were just 3 seconds away from eliminating the upstart Bulls. But those 3 seconds would have an impact for years to come.
Here's our story here at Richfield Coliseum. One of these teams will advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the New York Knicks. The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game. You'll see the drama unfold.
Michael Jordan always took his game to another level in the playoffs, like we've never seen before. He's the greatest that's ever played. And
greatest who ever played.
Yeah.
You go right there.
No question about it.
That brings up Jeter.
Now batting for the American League from the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
And that's how Derek Jeter will walk to the plate the rest of his time as a Yankee.
Well, the script is there. The last page is in Derek's hands. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality. Did you have any doubt?
When you talk about champions, when you talk about leaders, you talk about one man above most, and his name is Derek Jeter.
Now batting for the American League from the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number 2.
As for the fight itself, discussion centered not on who would win, but on how much punishment Foreman would dish out.
The time may have come to say goodbye to Muhammad Ali.
And now we understand that George Foreman is about to make his way to the ring.
Because very honestly, I don't think he can beat George Foreman.
Cosell was convinced that Ali is washed up.
This guy was the closest thing to a human monster I'd ever seen before. He was certainly the scariest boxer.
Look at this now as they stare. Muhammad Ali beginning to talk to George Foreman. They're really putting the stare on each other.
I looked him in the eye to stare him down and said, "Oh, George, you were in school when I was beating Sonny Liston."
Gone in the past 4 years beyond 2 rounds in any fight. By George Foreman.
He knew that the one weakness in this monster, who was thought of as unbeatable, was his stamina.
The first round, all of us yelled out, "Get off the ropes." And he would just say, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing."
Well, I would say that the round was very even, of course, actually.
And Ali totally got into the guy's head, and he didn't even realize it.
It was Muhammad Ali's fertile mind that created the rope-a-dope.
Here we go, round number 2 to determine Ali. Get off his stool in between rounds. George Foreman sat down all the way. Ali leaned on the rope. Which was interfered, fighting him.
Starting second or third round, when he went to the ropes, he was calling Foreman all kinds of names. Any name of otherness you can think of.
Talk. Definitely serious. Tremendous combination.
He fought just like your initial bumps, just lay on the rope and take a whipping. This time he did it with character. He said, "I'm going to weather the storm."
The rope-a-dope was something that was invented by Muhammad Ali that night.
I must say, I don't understand those tactics, Joe, of staying on the ropes and letting him hit.
It just shows you the power of intellect and intelligence and how that can compete against anything.
And believe me, I was a big, powerful giant in the ring with Muhammad. I mean, a knockout artist. He stood up to me.
Foreman setting him up against the rope. What a
So young, so strong.
Not supposed to do, leaning up against the ropes. 4 punches downstairs on Ali.
So fearless.
I had him beat. I really did. And really thought I had him beat up in the body, had him tired.
Continues to talk,
Against George Foreman, he does away with his opponents, one after another, in less than 3 rounds.
George not going that type of distance a long time. He was treading in water, never been in before.
This is the furthest that George Foreman has gone in a fight since 1972. Misses the right hand. Ali is definitely confusing him.
Missing the shots that he missed, it drained him.
Look at Foreman's face. He does look tired.
Nobody knew the strength of Muhammad Ali. He was manhandling him, just like Archie said, grabbing him, and he emptied the guy's tank.
I was afraid he was going to get killed by a George Foreman that many of our young viewers don't know.
Boom, perfect timing.
I thought he was hurt. I thought his body was hurt. He came back. He hit Foreman with everything, and he winked at me.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. He winked right over here to this corner.
The guy really was the people's choice, and he was the people's choice because he loved them.
Yes, I'd hate to predict any fight, but my goodness, those people who said Foreman would win in a flash have certainly been proved wrong.
And about the 7th round, he asked me, "That all you got, George?" That was like a nightmare.
After a while, even the dumbest of us looked up there and said, you know what? He's winning.
Of all time. Muhammad Ali has done it. The great man has done it.
He was, in fact, the greatest heavyweight who ever lived.